friends, thanks for coming back to PT Pilates online studio. I can't wait for today's workout. It's a full body flow, which we absolutely love, getting to target our entire body with just one workout and feel absolutely amazing for the rest of the day, night, few days, until the next time you're here on your mat. Now for this workout, I do have on a set of ankle weights. By no means necessary. Take a little inventory of how your body's feeling today. Decide if those ankle weights are for you or maybe not. You can do this workout. It's just as difficult, just as challenging without those ankle weights. And then besides that, you'll just need a mat. We're going to start here up on our knees, high on our knees. Know that if being on your knees for a prolonged period of time is not something that feels quite right with you, you can also do this first part, this first warm-up standing up, and then I'll let you know when we'll head down to our mat. So I'm going to start on my knees. You want to think about your inner thighs, think about your core like you're putting on that corset or that cummerbund. So you're really activating your transverse abdominis, those deep abs that surround us all the way from our spine to our navel. We're going to take a few nice big deep breaths here, in through the nose. Can you reach for the sky? And then out through the mouth, hands come right back down. Breathing in, reach nice and high, nice and wide, spread those fingertips. Breathing out, release, bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Two more like that. Breathing in, fill up. Expand, breathing out, shoulders out of our ears, head stays reaching tall. Taking that nice big inhale, feeling your ribcage expand side to side, and then dropping it all the way down with that exhale. Now after this next one, I'm going to go ahead and bring my right hand to my hip, taking a nice big side bend, reaching my left hand for the sky, up and over to the right. Now your goal here is to keep those hips as steady, as level as possible, and really feel the length out the left side of your torso, reaching from that left knee or left foot all the way out those left fingers. One more big inhale here. Exhale, come all the way up, switching sides, right hand's going up and over. Think long, expansive space from that right knee all the way out those right fingertips. Square in my hips, square in my shoulders. We'll do one more on each side like this. Exhale to restack. Inhale, we're going up and over, side bend. Exhale to restack. Inhale, reaching up and over, side bend. Coming back to center here, I'm going to turn to the side just so that you can see what's going on. Taking a kneeling version of our roll down. If you're standing, it's your traditional roll down. So we're going to take a big inhale, reach up for the sky. Can we keep our arms by our ears as we exhale, start to dive forward? Nod my chin towards my chest. Now here's the tough part. Pull your belly button in, squeeze your glutes. Try to keep those hips directly over your knees as your hands fall down towards the mat. As you fall down towards the mat, you've ended up in this round, angry Halloween cat spine. Beautiful. We're going to go through a round of cat-cow. So if you're standing, here's where you're going to drop to those knees. Breathing in, drop your belly, lift your head, lift your tailbone. Expansion, expansion, like we talked about in those side bends. Breathing out, curl, pull your navel towards your spine towards the ceiling. Press away from the mat, all 10 fingertips like claws. Breathing in to drop your belly, expansion, extension. Breathing out to curl, put on that corset, that cummerbund. Feel your deep core doing the work. Lift of the pelvic floor. 3 more like that. Use the pace of your breath. And then after this third one, I'm just going to go ahead and look for a nice, long, neutral spine. Once you're here, choose straight arms like pillars. We're going to step back one leg at a time. Find a nice, long line plank. All we're doing is holding this plank. Can you glue your shoulders in your back pockets? Can you put on that internal corset? Reach the crown of your head and your heels in 2 opposite directions and feel that support coming from every single muscle in your body. So you're activating everything, trying to squeeze those glutes, pull up on those quads, scoop your abdominals in. We are holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set those knees down, send those hips back, taking the weight off our wrists here for a second. Little opportunity to recollect our breath. We're coming back to all fours here. When you're ready, try to wave your spine one bone at a time as you move back to that quadruped, hands and knees position. Now once you're here, we're going to do an entire series of work with just the right side of our body, and then we'll do the entire series of work with the left side. So once you're back on all fours, I just want you to extend your right leg straight back behind you. So just like we did with that plank, but only that right leg coming back. Collect your core, square off your hips, make sure that you're nice and engaged in the center of your body, your midline. We're going to take that right foot and just start to lift and lower that straight leg. Lift and lower. Can you point your toes, reaching out that leg and trying to keep both hips square? You're trying to keep your low back as steady as you can. So to lift your leg higher, you don't want to arch your back, but you just want to lift to the point where you feel that glute squeeze, where you feel the engagement in the back of your thigh, and where you feel that stretch in the front of your hip flexor. You're pressing away with both arms, so you're supporting yourself with your upper body. Engage through every ounce of that long leg. And then notice there's also some work on your supporting side, so that leg should also be firing up, be burning. Pace of your breath. Exhale with every lift. We are here for 4, for 3, for 2. You're going to pause up on 1, little pulses, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. It's very easy to start to move super quick with these, super fast with these. Now the slower, smaller, more controlled that we work, the deeper the work's going to be, the harder the work's going to be. So here's one of those examples where slower is a whole lot more challenging. Feel that squeeze. Think about your inner thigh hugging your midline. We are here for 5. For 4, for 3, for 2, listen carefully. After this 1, you're dropping that right foot all the way down, land on the ground. From here, I'm going to start to turn towards the side. How I'm going to do so, it's my left forearm is going to drop parallel to the front edge of my mat. My right foot is going to start to turn, so the inner arch becomes flush with my mat. I'm reaching my right arm straight up towards the sky. I'm in a single leg side plank. You want to drive through your forearm, try to lift your ribs towards the sky. Already feeling a whole lot of work burning up those bottom obliques. We're going to take that right leg again. It's a straight leg, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Exhale each time you lift. This time you're feeling a whole lot of work in those outer and inner thighs. Try to resist on the way down just as much on the way up. And then feel how that bottom side is also supporting you here with that outer thigh, with your seat, with that peach. Pulling those abdominals in. We're here for 4, for 3, for 2. Pause on 1. Try to hold it there for 3, for 2, for 1. You're going to set that straight leg down. Take a breath. My top arm is going to start to thread the needle down under towards that bottom side. Can I look down towards my mat, towards those fingertips, and then unwind, big reach for the ceiling. So little oblique crunch, little oblique twist, look towards those fingertips, and then reach up, up, up for the sky, broaden my chest. Exhale as you twist. Try to hold those hips as steady as you can. So just make it about the upper body, about your shoulders. Bottom side oblique, lots of work. You've got 4. Slow with control. Oh yeah, these are super tough. 2 more. And then 1 more like this. Open up that arm, pause here. What we're going to do is make our way back to all fours. So you'll start to turn towards your mat, restack those wrists right underneath those shoulders, come back to both knees under those hips. Once you're here, I'm dropping to both forearms like a number 11. Now, as you make your way to both forearms, with your torso in this diagonal, pitched position forward, it's going to be a whole lot more challenging. So if you ever need to just come up to 2 straight arms, absolutely fine. We're still on that right leg. Can you believe it? We're gonna send our right leg straight back like we did earlier. From here, you're gonna hover it up as high as you can. We're going for a crunch and extend. Bend your knee, pull it in towards your chest. Can you think knee to nose? Look at that knee, and then extend, reach nice and long. So we're here for a crunch. We're here for length. Think like that cat-cow when you pulled the back of your belly button towards the sky and then dropped your tummy down, sent your head nice and long for the ceiling. So feel that contraction in the core and that length in your upper body. So you're moving your entire spine here this time instead of just holding it still. A little bit different than those first exercises, up on 2 straight arms. Engage in those forearms, turn on the muscles in your back. These feel so good for our core. We've got 3, 2. We're holding that leg straight out after this last one. Draw little circles with that straight leg. Try to keep your hips as steady as you can. Think about your core, think about your center. The circle is as large as we can stay steady. Focus on that lift. Slower, harder, more control, more engagement. One more in this direction. We're just going to reverse from here, circling in the opposite direction. Imagine you're trying to balance a teacup up on your tailbone. Feel how those forearms, that upper body needs to support you like that plank earlier. We're drawing 3. We're drawing 2. We get to take a break after this last one. Pull that knee underneath you. Send both hips to your heels. Take that big stretch. Expansion in your back body. Expansion in your side body. You'll start from here, start to nod your chin towards your chest. You're going to restack your spine 1 bone at a time so that you're sitting up on top of those heels. I'm dragging my hands, my shoulders, my neck, my head. They're last to come up. Give yourself a little shake, relax it out, shake it out, and we're gonna head to our mermaid seated position. Now for this mermaid seated position, your right leg is gonna be the one that's folded back because we're still gonna work that right side. Your left leg is the one that's folded forward, lined up with that long edge of your mat. From here, I'm gonna bring my arms nice and open like a big T. We're going back to those side bends like we took on our knees or standing up at the start of class to warm up. So from here, all I want you to do is take a big inhale, land that left hand down on the ground. You're gonna reach your right hand up overhead, feel length in your side body on that right side. The more you press away, the more you lift your rib cage towards the sky, the more the space between your ribs, the muscles between your ribs are gonna be able to expand so that we can take deeper, fuller breaths. You'll exhale to come right back up to that T. We're doing that same thing 2 more times. Big inhale, reach up and over, press away, bottom shoulder out of my ear, belly button to spine, exhale, restack with control. Breathing in to reach up and over, feel that space, feel that length like a big rainbow. And then exhale to come on up with control. This time you're going to start out just like that side bend, but I'm going to start to twist, bringing both hands down to the ground, lined up with the opposite short edge of my mat. It's okay if that back hip lifts a tiny bit on these, because I'm going to start to lift my back leg up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. This is a lot of tiny work for the side of your seat, for the side of your abdominals, for those obliques. Try to hold your chest nice and high. You're just looking out in front of you so that your neck stays long. You're gonna feel the burn-in super quick on these little pretzel lifts. Exhale with every little pretzel lift. We are here for 6, for 5, for 4. Last 3, little crunch. Last 2. You're gonna hold it up there on 1. Can you hold this leg lifted? Try to reach it straight back behind you and go ahead and set that straight leg down. Take a breath. We're going into a twisted swan. I just want you to bend your elbows, start to drop your heart down towards the ground. You're gonna breathe in to lift your chest back up, little push up. Look for the sky, little back bend. Bend those elbows, resist as you lower, muscles in the triceps, arms have to work. Breathe in, lift, expansion in your chest. Breathing out to lower, resist. Breathing in to lift, lift, lift. One more like this, lowering down, down, down. You're gonna lift all the way up, hold that chest lifted like there's a string, pulling it all the way up towards the ceiling. My straight back leg, it's gonna start to lift and lower, lift and lower. Keep your chest as tall as you can. It's gonna start to aim for the ground. Lifting that back leg here. Exhale as you lift. Super deep work on the side of your hip. I'm sure you're feeling it. We are here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and hold that leg up there on 1. Little bend in the elbows. 2 inches down, 2 inches up. 2 inches down, 2 inches up. See how my leg is going with me. A little teeter-totter. You've got 4. You've got 3. You've got 2. And then after this last one, bend that knee, take a breath. Come all the way up to your letter T. And then relax. Roll out those shoulders. They're going back here. For 3 more, up to those ears, down to those back pockets. And then once you've taken that last shoulder roll, we're going to do all of those same exercises with our left leg. So guess where we're starting back at? It's all 4s. It's hands and knees. Remember, we're high up on those wrists to start, and your knees are directly underneath your hips. Now take a little inventory here. To start, you may feel super uneven from the right side of your torso to the left side of your torso. I know I do. We're looking for a straight left leg back behind us, squaring off those hips, pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Engage with that upper body. It's done a lot of work already. It's tired. We're taking that straight left leg up towards the sky, back down towards the ground. So full range to start on these lifts. Slow with control, both directions. Engage your center so that your low back doesn't move. You're reaching that leg as long as you possibly can. It doesn't have to be all the way straight here. You just want to be reaching it long out of your hip. So thinking about your thigh doing the work instead of your foot doing the work, it's just going to change the purpose, make it more about that peach, more about your hip, more about your core. We always want to hold our energy in our powerhouse, like Joseph Pilates told us. We're just going to do 4 of these. Now you might remember where we're going. On that 4th one, we're going to hold our leg lifted, and we're going an inch up, an inch down, an inch up, an inch down. It's really easy to start to dump into that right hip. Do your best to stay even over the center of your body, holding onto your core, knee and toe facing straight down towards the ground. Protect your low back. Pull that belly button in. We are here for 6, for 5, for 4. Last 3. Last 2, pause on 1, take a big inhale. On the exhale, drop that foot all the way down. My right forearm's going to start to make its way lined up with the short edge of my mat. I rotate on my left foot and reach my left arm straight up towards the sky. I'm in that modified side plank, so my bottom knee is hanging out on the ground. I'm reaching my ribs up, 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 and I'm going to start to lift my straight leg up and down. Up and down. Outer inner thigh doing all that work this time. Locking my bottom shoulder in my back pocket. We talked about that a lot on your mermaid. That's going to help you engage your side body, which of course is super important when you're in a side plank. Try to lift that leg about hip height. There's your goal. Again, think about the muscles surrounding your hip instead of your foot doing the work. Pulling your belly button towards your spine. We've got 4. We've got 3. Start to break that sweat for 2. Hold it up there on 1. Big inhale. Exhale, lower that leg down. Take a breath. Thread the needle. Bottom arm starts to come down. Top arm, starts to come down toward that bottom arm. You look at those fingertips. Little twist. And then reach all the way for the sky. Big breath in. Exhale as you take your twist. Look for the ground. Try to keep those hips steady as you reach for the sky. Threading that needle all about your obliques. Reaching that top rib, that left rib for your bottom hip, that right hip. Think about a line, pulling them together as you twist. You've just got 3 more of these. Beautiful, beautiful work for 2 more. And then once you're done with this last one, we're coming right back to all fours. Both hands nice and tall, planted on that mat. Knees coming right underneath your hips. Recollect your core, recollect your center. And you're gonna drop down both forearms like a number 11. As you pitch your torso, there's more work in your core. There's also more work in your seat. And then from here, reach that left leg straight back behind you once again. Square off those hips, square off your center, shoulders down your back. Remember, it's all about that upper body for support. We're gonna start to hover our leg and go for those single leg crunches. Knee to nose, curl, curl, curl. Reach long, try to look between your hands. So look towards your knee as you crunch it in. Look towards your hands as that leg reaches straight back behind you. So coming into that miniature cat-cow stretch here with our spine, so that we can activate our core even more. Feel that deep work in those global, those outer surface abdominal muscles. And also feel that strength surrounding your low back, your spine. You've got 4 more of these. Reach, reach, reach as long as you can. Focus on pulling your ribs and your hips together. Use that exhale on that crunch. And then after this next one, pause with that leg nice and long. You've got circles here with your hip. It's the last thing before we sit up. You already know where we're going. Try to keep your weight even over both sides of your body so you're not dumping into that right hip. You're drawing a circle with your thigh bone, trying to balance a teacup up on your tailbone. Engaged in that belly button to spine connection. Engaged with the shoulders pulling down your back. Can you go ahead and reverse the direction of the circle you're drawing? And then just notice if you feel a little bit more wobbly on one direction versus the other, totally fine. Maybe a little bit stronger on one leg versus the other. You've got just 4 of these. Exhale with every circle so you don't forget to hold your breath. Once you're done with that last one, bring that knee all the way in. Send those hips back towards your heels. And then just like we did before, drag those hands as you nod your chin towards your chest and start to roll up bone by bone by bone until your shoulders, neck, and head restack. Shake that side all the way out and we'll head to your mermaid here. So your left leg is the one that's folded back this time. Right shin, it's lined up with the front edge of your mat. Hips as square as they can be. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're different on both sides of our body. Feel as engaged as you can in your center, as tall as you can in your center, and those arms will make their way to your big letter T. Over towards the opposite side this time. So over to the right, your left hand is the one that's reaching up overhead. Our right shoulder down in our back pocket so that we can lift our ribs as high towards the sky as possible. Feel as much expansion as possible as we breathe in. And then belly button to spine, breathe out, come all the way up, side body engagement. Breathing in to reach up and over, big old stretch. Breathing out to lift, 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 grow as tall as you can. 2 more like that. Breathing in to reach up and over. Breathing out to restack. And then on this last one, pause as you reach up and over. Start to turn your heart towards the mat. So both hands are gonna land about shoulder distance apart. You're in your twisted mermaid from here. Trying to lift my heart as tall as I can towards the sky. It's okay if that back hip has lifted up because that back leg is gonna start to lift and lower, lift and lower. It's teeny tiny here, but you feel that work immediately through the side of our thigh, side of our hip, up into the muscles in your back and those obliques. A whole lot of work here on these. As stable as you can in the arms as you take this teeny tiny move for just 6, just 5, just 4. Try to get that shake, that squeeze. And then on the last one, we pause with that leg lifted. Try to kick it out all the way straight behind us. And then let it relax with control. Going for those push-ups, those swan push-ups. You're going to start to drop your heart 1 bone at a time. And then lift right back up, heart towards the sky. Drop 1 bone at a time. Resist, resist with those arms. And then lift, 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 send our heart towards the ceiling. You've got 4 of these. You want to inhale on that way up for more expansion between your ribs and your hips. On the last one, we're going to hold your heart all the way high towards the sky, and then start to lift that straight leg behind us. Up and down, up and down. It's just up about that inch. Again, it's teeny tiny, just like when that knee was bent. A lot of work in the muscles in your back. Do the best you can to keep your heart lifted. We're here for 4, for 3, feel that burn, for 2. Pause with it up there on 1. You're going to lower your chest down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. That leg goes with you like a little teeter-totter, like a seesaw. Engage your center. We are here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Can you pause on 1? Bend that knee. Come back to your mermaid, and then restack all the way nice and tall. Shake out your head, shake out those shoulders. You can roll those shoulders up and back once again like we did before, putting them in your back pockets. How about 3 of those? Beautiful. Now after you're done with that third one of those, you're just going to sit on the mat with your knees bent and your feet hanging out in front of you. I want you to drop down to your forearms here. So these forearms are going to support us, keep our chest lifted nice and high. But what I want you to do is try to imprint your spine. So can you scoop your belly button in so much that your ribs and hips glue together in front of you? You can see that your pubic bone and your tailbone are curled up towards the ceiling here, yeah? We're going to send our right leg up into tabletop. We're going back to that right leg. Can you flex your right foot? And then all you're going to do is imagine there's a brick wall underneath that foot. You're pressing that brick wall away, and then you're bending that knee back towards your nose. Press that brick wall away, and bend the knee in towards your nose. The goal here is not to lose that rib and hip connection as your leg goes long. And then we've got to keep our inner thighs engaged on the left side, the opposite side, to make sure that our pelvis isn't rocking all over the place. As we take these little crunches, we're also working the front of our hip. I'm sure you can feel that work there, strengthening your hip flexor. They're weak on so many of us. We're just doing 4 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these. You're going to hold that leg long on this last one. I'm pointing my toes, kicking my leg straight up towards the sky. I'm flexing my foot to lower right back down. So it's a point to lift, a flex to lower. Think about your foot dragging along a piece of glass in front of you. So there's engagement all the way down. There's resistance in the back of your thigh all the way down. Heels reaching out, 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 nice and long. Exhale on that way up so that you get that scoop, you get that core engagement. Beautiful. 4 of these. And then after this last one, you can bring that knee all the way in and set that foot down. Take a breath. We're doing the exact same thing on the second side. Again, we feel uneven from one side to the other, just like we talked about when we were doing those other leg, those hip exercises for the low body. We're making our way up into that core, scoop, scoop, scoop. Send that left knee to tabletop. Flex that foot. When you're ready, it's your bend and your stretch. So you're trying to press a brick wall away from you. Engagement out that heel. Turning on that right inner thigh to support you. And then doing your best to keep those ribs and hips as close together as humanly possible. Engage, engage down that leg. Power in your forearms for support. Power in your shoulders for support. Your neck is long, your neck is relaxed. Make sure that you're not dumping into those shoulders. You've got 4. Really, really nice work. Left rib and hips stay glued together. On that 4th one, we pause with a nice long straight leg. We point to kick up, 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 exhale. Flex to lower, down, down, down. Point to kick up, flex, resist down. So make sure that you're turning on those muscles in the back of your leg on the way down, so that instead of just collapsing your leg with gravity, you're resisting using your core. And just notice, because you're moving with a long leg, it makes it more challenging for your abs as opposed to moving with that bent knee. You've got 4 of these. Feel that stretch in your hamstring. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, once you're done with this 4th one, you can go ahead and bend that knee in. Set both feet down, little windshield wiper of your knees. Over to the right, releases your hips. Over to the left, releases those hips. Over to the right, over to the left. Not very large here. Little massage across our tailbone. We're going to go into oblique can-cans here next. Legs are going to do a similar move, but our feet are going to be lifted up at tabletop. So when you're ready, find center. Scoop that core, engage with your imprint. Right leg's going to lift to tabletop. This time toes are pointed. Left leg's going to lift to tabletop. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Both knees are going to go over to the right. Both knees are going to go over to the left. Try to engage your center. Only let those knees go as far as you can keep your chest square and steady. So sometimes your chest is going to want to start to turn with you. The goal is to activate your core, your inner thighs so much that your chest stays totally still. We're going to start to kick those legs for our can-can. Your knees twist, pause, unfold, refold, twist, pause, unfold, refold. As your legs go straight, you're going to notice it gets a lot harder for your core. You might feel a shake across your abdominals, and then just know that you can always stick with 2 bent knees. If when you straighten those legs, you're like, whoa, 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 that's too much for me in my center. Nothing wrong with that. We're just going to do 2 more sets, over to the right and over to the left. So, so, so beautiful. These are amazing. Once you're done with that last one, you can just go ahead and set both feet right back down where they came from, about a fist distance apart. From here, I'm going to prop myself up to 2 straight arms. Can your fingertips face back towards your seat so that your wrists are getting a nice big old stretch? We're going to come into what's called a high bridge here in Pilates. We don't do these very often. You're going to squeeze your seat and lift those hips straight up. Keep your gaze right about at the line of your knees here, and then feel all that power in your back body, just like you would in a shoulder bridge, pulling those heels in towards your seat, like you're trying to drag that mat in towards your fingertips. This is really opening up your chest and your pecs. From here, we're going to go into a little march. You're going to try to lift one leg to tabletop without those hips moving. Set that foot down and lift the other leg right on up. So engage your center as best you can. The goal is no shift in the weight. You're holding onto your powerhouse so strong. Squeezing those glutes so strong. Turning on the backs of your thighs so much. Really press away with those arms. Pull your belly button in. You can see why this is more challenging than your shoulder bridge. If you need to come down to your traditional bridge and continue this march, nothing wrong with that. Power in the backs of your thighs. Really, really nice. You've got 2 more sets on the right and the left. 4 reps total. Once you're done with that last one, pause for me here. Little tricep dips, upper body. You're going to bend those elbows and straighten those arms. Bend those elbows and straighten those arms. It's okay if your hips start to drop back down towards the ground. You're looking to open up your upper body. Send your elbows as close towards one another as you can back behind you. Squeeze the backs of your arms each time you lift, each time you exhale. We are here for 3, 2. After this last one, set that seat all the way down. You're going to roll onto your back, grab for the backs of your thighs to do so, and then hug both knees all the way in towards your chest from here. We're going to make our way into our single leg stretch. So shake out your neck, give it the opportunity to open up. Elbows going nice and wide. We're going to curl our forehead up, turn on those abs to meet your knees, and then both hands make their way to your right leg as your left leg goes long. Take that inhale, exhale, switch. Can you grab for the ankle with your outer arm so that it's helping keep your knee in alignment instead of letting your knee swing out wide towards the side?
You're reaching that pointed toe long, so just like we did with that flexed foot earlier on your bend and your stretch, but this time it's more about those abs in this position, and that was a little bit more about your legs. Also about those abs, but more about the low body. Coming into those upper abs this time, I should say. We're going to do 4 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these, and then we're going to go directly into scissors from here. So instead of one knee bent, both legs straight as you pull one towards you, both legs straight as you switch sides, both legs straight as one comes towards you, both legs straight as you switch. So you're pulling one straight leg towards you, giving your hamstring that opportunity to stretch, working into those upper abs. See if you can lift your chest an inch higher. Your goal is to get those entire shoulder blades up away from the mat, pulling your spine into that imprint. Elbows wide so our shoulders stay down our back. Muscles in our back stay on so our neck can stay relaxed. We're here for 4, for 3, 2 more sets, and then a nice break after this. Bend both knees in, set your head down, little rock from right to left. Take out any tension you need to in your back, but also maybe in your head. Shake like you're saying no. We're going to do one more exercise here. It's your double leg stretch, and then we'll flip on over, go into some upper body here to end. We're going to curl your head, neck, and chest all the way up. Once again, this time, both arms go long, both legs go long. Arms reach for those ears as your toes reach towards the opposite side of the room. Hug both knees right back in, little ball. So legs and arms long like a V, knees and arms in like a ball. Going from that letter V to that teeny ball. Can you exhale as you reach, pulling your belly button down, gluing it to the mat imprint? Can your shoulders stay away from those ears? Can your neck stay relaxed, pull into your core? You've just got 4, 3, 2, and then after this last one, hug those knees all the way in, little rock forward and back, forward and back, massaging across your spine, opening up any stress between those vertebrae. Try to keep your chin nodded towards your chest. And then when you're ready, you'll come all the way up to sit, and we're going to make our way back to all fours for one upper body exercise before we take our final stretch. Once you're on all fours, what I want you to do is try to shift your hips forward so you're coming into a kneeling plank. Keep the tops of your feet relaxed down to the ground. We're going to bend both elbows, start to send your chest down towards the ground, and then just straighten both arms. You want to go about halfway down. Bend both elbows and straighten both arms. Can you squeeze your inner thighs? Can you squeeze your core? Can you turn on your glutes so that your shape is moving in one straight line here? My elbows are as close to my torso as they can be. We're here for 3. We're here for 2. You're going to pause about halfway down on this last one. Slowly, carefully, you're making your way all the way down to the mat. You're going to open those legs up wide and press all the way up to a nice swan here, stretching the front of your torso. Ribs and hips as far away from each other as they can be on that front side, as close together as they can be on that back side. Resist all the way down. We're lifting up 2 more times. Breathe in as you press, big stretch, neck goes long. Breathe out as you lower down, just like we did before. Last one here, you're going to press all the way up, hold yourself up. Can you look over your right shoulder? Tension relieves from the neck. Look over your left shoulder. Stay heavy in both hips. Look back to center. Lower all the way down. Press your hips back towards your heels and roll up one last time. One bone at a time. Your shoulders, neck, head, they are last. Fabulous work today, peachy people. I can't wait to see you next time.